some people still do as well. Sex and relationships.
Steve. Because men like this, they have made a covenant that if no be virgin, no they marry.
So now, even that virgin thing, even that virgin thing, bruh. Even that virgin thing, there's a psychological angle to it. When we talk about sex and relationship, we go deeper. So there's such a thing known as libido. Now what is libido? Sexual urge. I like what you said.
No virginity, no marriage.
And somebody
Wait. I want to say something.
I'm not done. Let me finish.
My sister, they know the closer. No waiting. I let's talk.
Make I finish now.
You can only tighten it. You cannot even tighten it. I cannot grow again. My brother, so
God allowed it to.
Please, I got the next
Let me finish. Hymen is an organ that obstructs the. I don't know if I should call the word, but you guys know what it is.
Yes.
So it covers it. Sometimes hymen breaks by itself, even without sex.
Sporting
activities, stress, and all of that stuff. So hymen is not actually the deterrent of virginity.
He says sporting activity first of all.
Baba, you want to say no, Baba, don't ask small pikin.
No, I'm not saying small pikin.
Steve la Kupara. Baba don't play for this thing. You don't matter. They matter things.
I go enter marriage now. Go see my wife. I want to do like Lena. Even 16 years children notice. They can't be Baba. I want that now.
Now this is the difference.
I have to play my
this is the difference between.
Baba
A true virgin and someone who goes to use chemicals to contract, to tighten. The difference is a true virgin will not enjoy sex for the first few times they do it. We don't. It's relative to some people, but on the average, they have to do it maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, depending. It's relative. But the first few times, that lady will still not start enjoying sex. On the flip side, that person who went to tight only tightens because the idea of virginity is when you're meeting your woman, then the place is tight and there is bleeding. That's the idea of virginity. Mind you, another aspect of virginity is she doesn't necessarily need to bleed. It's because they don't give us proper sexual education. You are supposed to use a lubricant for a virgin. When you're having sex with your wife for the first time, she's a virgin. You are supposed, there's such a thing known as lubricant. That's how we talked about sex toys the other day. And the original intent of sexual enhancement tools, there's something known as lubricant. It's like your normal oils now that we used to cook and stuff. But it's meant for... No, I'm not saying normal. I'm just using an example. So that's what you use, especially for the virgin. Because the psychological angle now to a virgin is, if you don't apply wisdom to having sex with your wife for the first time, you might traumatize the woman. Ultimately, she may never enjoy sex. I've seen marriages where the woman dreads meeting with the husband anytime they want to have it because her first encounters were not pleasant. So let's not digress. Let's go back to what we're talking about, compatibility now. So most women at 21st century are not virgins. So that's where libido comes in. Now what is libido? He said sexual urge. That's a very good definition. Libido is basically your the size of your sexual appetite, your sex drive. We are not the same. We are not equals. Some persons are higher, some persons are lower. It's just like food that you eat. Some people have wide stomach that you can. Some people are like Gil, while some people are like Rose, hair. So it's the same thing with libido. Now, like he earlier pointed out, if both parties, which is the original plan of God, both parties have never encountered sex, they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem. Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo said something one time. He said he has counseled a lot of women, and they've asked him that he has counseled a lot of women, and they have asked him that my husband does not used to last. How do we improve our sexual life? My husband does not use to last. So how do we improve our sex life? Then he asked her, where is it written in scripture that thou shalt last for so amount? How long is the average time? What is the average time? How long is a man supposed to last for? But you will not compare if you did not have something else to compare with.
That's the point.
But then, coming from the scientific aspect of it, especially that libido thing you mentioned, even if they are both meeting for the first time, in as much as they've started and the whole thing is going, there's still very high possibility that the guy might end up not satisfying the woman.
True.
Now, in the sense that
he
has higher sexual demand. Now, let's say, okay, but that just did his first thing, then, but the lady still wants. More.
Yes, I agree. However, you know why it won't pose a problem? Because she does not have prior experience. So she doesn't know, most of the time, she doesn't even know what satisfaction is. She just knows that she still wants this thing. But she doesn't even know that it's because she's not satisfied.
Of course.
Do you understand? So she can't measure. She can't say,
compare.
this Femi that year used to this one.
Personally,
so it will not pose a problem. Trust me.
But personally, I feel like even as Christians, we've not done it, whatever. I feel like taking sex education before marriage.
No, it's very important. We're not disputing that.
So that all these things,
we're not disputing that. Where I'm now, this is where I'm heading to. This is where I'm heading to. Now, this is where I'm heading to.
You'd have to go scouting for the
Now, this is where I'm heading to.
What are we collecting now? Break dance now. Okay, it's break dance.
Okay, I think and I hold it. So this is where I'm heading to.
Share it.
So see the thing here now. This is what I'm heading to. When you are you're in relationship about to get married, it's very important to have sexual conversation. Don't let anybody deceive you. They don't do spirituality about it. Now, first of all, ask questions. Ask questions like, have you had sex before?
Yes.
Do not ask questions like, how many times? You don't want to know, trust me. Ask questions, have you had sex before? If the person says yes, that means you have to be concerned about that person's sexual life, especially if you've never done it before. It means you have to know that person's sexual tendencies and preferences. Now you go ahead to ask questions like how they like it, how they prefer it, how they want, what they prefer in their woman. You know, it's called an open-minded conversation, because apparently this is a man you're going to get married to, and these are exercises that you will be having. And one of the things that are very pivotal in our homes that can even destroy a home is sex.
Yes.
Is sex. So you can ask these questions: virgin, no virgin. But the reason why, if both persons are virgins, the discussion is virtually dead on arrival is because they don't even know what they are talking about.
But
you will still discuss it too. But they don't even know what they are talking about. So what do you want to, how do you want to discuss an issue you don't know? The Bible describes sex as carnal knowledge. That means knowing the body,
the flesh.
So it's an education you have to acquire by practice, not by theory.
Yes.
You understand?
Just like Pastor stated earlier on, if both of you are novices, there is this tendency that you want to know. So you have to meet elderly person that will coach you.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. For that, there are sex education classes.
Books.
Yes.
YouTube can be
Then for practical purposes and hands-on, you can.
Yeah.
No. When I mean YouTube, I'm not talking about like coaches who talk on here. On different. That one you will even have wrong orientation. That one will give you another idea about. That one is because it is
Very
scripted.
high expectation.
I defined it to somebody. I said it is a movie. It is as in they take break. They say continue. Take 2, take 3. So if you have that understanding, okay, let's say you see a pornography of about 20 minutes, 30 seconds, and like, oh, okay, this is.
Why come this person is staying for 1 hour?
Hey, now. Go off, go out, come back.
There is that.
Some people get it wrong from this.
But the best way is to talk to a mentor, a parent, an older person, a sibling.
I really don't think parents will work in this aspect.
No, parents work, especially the girl
It
to the
depends on the
mother.
relationship.
It depends on the relationship.
Of course, if you're not in a cordial relationship with your
Although most times,
You could
I don't
be in a
know
cordial
if all
relationship with your
churches, but there are
parents,
some
but
churches that
they wouldn't want
They are not open-minded to
Exactly.
these counselors take time
Yes.
to explain these things to them before they get married.
now another
But
thing
not
is
all churches.
And I think that-
most churches and
negligence.
church counselors, marriage counselors don't go to the sex area. They just rub on the surface.
Yeah.
They dwell on the surface. They don't go deep. I was talking to a friend sometime. She's an old she's an adult woman. She's a virgin. I think she should be about 28 or 27 and thereabout. So I was orienting her about sex, the body, and all of that. So we got talking. And when I teach on sex, I'm usually very plain. There's no point. You're an adult. Why would I be hiding ahead? So I'm usually very plain. So there were plenty things I was pitching out to her, and she was completely outstanding. Like, I've never heard this before. I don't know this before. Even people I've spoken with, they've never gone this deep. Now she asked the question: do they teach this at marriage council classes before? Where I laughed. I said, well, I don't like to generalize, but on a broader scale, more than 90% of our churches do not. They don't, and it's sad to say the least, because it's like we're running away from a part of life. We say, okay, this place is not part of life. Let's keep it. The Holy Spirit will take care of it. Let's just leave it for the Holy Spirit. And apparently, when you count most of the things that actually make up a home or have power in the home, sex should be in top 3.
Yeah.
When you talk about finances, you talk about vision and direction, you talk about sex. So something as important as this, why are we rushing on the subject? I don't want to talk about my experience when I was having my council classes. I didn't need it anyway because I had all the education I needed. I've done all my courses and all. But for formality's sake, your church must join you. They will force your head. Well, our tutor just brushed up on the surface. Was just like, you have to compromise. You have to try to satisfy the other. I was just laughing in my mind. I said, so this one now, class. So let's say you are talking to 2 virgins that have no idea about anything. Oh God, how do we do it? Where do we do it? How would we do it? How do we start? What are the intricacies?
But
when my body starts doing it,
that's not everything they will teach you.
that you find out yourself.
Yeah, you find out yourself. It's not everything they will teach you. Adam and Eve taught them how
Quick
to
story.
The Holy Spirit is a teacher.
Quick story again. Quick story again. I know one lady from.
He said he will teach you
All things, not something. He said, let you not anything, no man to teach you again. First John chapter 2:25.
And what he shall teach you is true and not lie.
Yes.
Now I know this lady from one of our denominations that are usually uptight and one of our denominations that are usually one of our Pentecostal denominations that are usually uptight and conservative. And one lady from one of those denominations and got married. the way they preach about virginity is like the only sin you can commit that will take you to hell is the sin of fornication. Virginity. Oh, virginity. How can you? And so it became a thing like.
No, wait, pause before you continue. Sorry. It's not as if that. Let's get it. I understand where you're coming from perfectly.
Let me finish the story.
Yeah, but I want to just balance before you guys need to teach us. So just understand the reason why most emphasis are made on this sex thing, virginity. It's not about virginity. It's about the sin of it. Because the Bible say all these things we commit are outside of our body. But he that committed the sin of fornication sinned against his own flesh, his own spirit and his own soul, and even God. So there are two different things. If I slap you now, beat you, do something, those one I'm just seeing outward sins. But sex is what? Inside. Another thing again, sex is spiritual. Sex is spiritual.
Yeah.
Sex is spiritual. That's what people don't know. I was telling you some time ago, some youth when we were having some program there. Sorry to cut you short out. I told them that you see this masturbation also is very demonic. People don't know. Highly demonic. Highly demonic. There was a lady that we canceled there. She has not committed sex. She's kind of people. But she have done masturbation for like, let me say, for like 7 years. She has over 20 children. In the name of the Spirit. Now, let's balance it now. People will say masturbation is not something as a sin in the Bible. But the Bible said that in the book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 1, it said, who can quote it from me? It said, see therefore that we are surrounded with a compassed with great cloud of witnesses. Let us therefore lay aside every sin and weight that easily besets us, and let us not run the race with patience. It's there. We just read it now.
Hebrews 12.
Hebrews 12:1. Now, sin actually is fornication. Masturbation is a weight. They are brothers and sisters. Just get it. Masturbation is not necessarily written as sin in the Bible, but it's a weight. What is a weight? Something that puts you down, that you can't run your race of Christianity. So you get it. So some people have not committed sin of fornication, but they are under the weight of what? Masturbation. So how can that lady now get married and give birth when you already have spiritual children in the realm of the spirit? So you see it. It's a two-way something. So that is the reason why we lay more emphasis on what enters into you. What enters into you is a spirit. It's not just about objects, it's a spirit. It's an exchanging of spirits. Whatever enters into you. That's why I just was telling that also when he came and said, what enters into you is also what you brings out. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth what speaks. So all these things of slapping, anger, malice, those ones are still that sin. But this one of fornication, sex, you are fighting against your flesh. You are fighting against your soul. You are fighting against your spirit. And you are fighting against God. That is the balance there. That's how I just wanted to speak.
Okay. To go forward, I tend to slightly differ a little bit. There's cause for us to be broad on this subject of sex when we are teaching, especially our young people. Why? Because there's a place of the flesh and there's a place of the spirit. Both of them make up the man, the human being. They all have their functions. For instance, you cannot deny your flesh some basic requirements like bathing, clothing, food. You can't. It's not possible. You can't do spiritual day and say, okay, Holy Spirit, fill me. Holy Spirit will fill you till when? A time will come, you will just have to eat. Do you understand? There are basic requirements that our body needs. So, there's a part of scripture that says the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. So that your spirit actually knows what to do. Your spirit knows what not to do. Your spirit is trained, but your body is the thing that is dragging you. Like, okay, no, do this thing. No, I want to fast today. I don't want to eat. I want to fast today. I don't want to eat. Your spirit is already committed to fasting. But when one kind of hungry enter you like this, like, you know, you can barely walk from here to there. I beg, I'm not thinking myself when that's succumbing to the flesh. Sometimes we can't actually blame it because the flesh is weak. The flesh does not have, the flesh is like this keyboard now, for instance, a physical thing. If you cut a wire, it will stop. If you remove the battery, if you remove the plug, it will stop. That's how the flesh is. If you cut this hand now, if you don't stop the bleeding, the person may die from bleeding out. If something is altered inside the body, it will affect the body. Now, this is where I'm going with this. If we only focus on, don't do this, is a sin, is this, is that, is this, is that, fornication will kill you, this is demonic, is this. It's right teaching, don't get me wrong. Very right, very correct. But there's another aspect to it, which we neglect. We focus on the spirit only. We neglect the physical, the flesh. Now, the spirit is not enough on this subject to sustain these young people. Because I've seen denominations that focus on only the spirit. Yet in these same denominations, I've seen teenagers with unwanted pregnancy. I've seen people that even in their marriage, they still see sex as a sin. It has become a conditioning. Because they've laid so much emphasis that sex is not like something unclean. It's ungodly. In fact, they feel dirty. I know a person I married that confided in me that she feels dirty. Whenever, after she and her husband has sex, she doesn't like herself. She can't pray. No, it's conditioning. It's a conditioning. It's a conditioning. Why? Because the message is not balanced. Now, when we balance the spiritual angle, we then come to the physical. The physical is what? When a child is 12, 13, body changes. Puberty comes. Hormone changes. For the ladies, they start growing breasts. The guys, they have broad chest, baritone voice. All of these changes. Now, this girl will just see a guy. She doesn't know why she's liking the guy. She can't explain it. She doesn't know why she's drawn to him. But she knows the spirit. They've taught her that don't do sex, don't do that. It will. Likewise, the guy. Let's leave at the place of peer pressure now, societal, education, and all those things. Just normal thing. He's just sitting with a girl in class, or they're just in the environment. You just be feeling something. These are hormonal changes. This is the physical side of him. Okay, I've still seen a denomination where a guy undergoing this hormonal change ejaculated in his sleep. It is called wet dream. It is part of the process that tells that his body is acclimatizing to that you are now a man. He then went to his church, confided in his minister, and he said, that's a sin. Yes, that's a sin. He felt
spiritual one.
Thank you. So they made him feel really bad. Now you are denying these young people the chance to become sexually aware of what is happening to them. So they only know spirit. Now when a lady touches them, they don't even know what to react with. The next thing, I bind you. And it won't work.
Okay,
I'm coming, sir. I'm coming.
No, whenever you touch some place, I also balance. I'm not even different from you. I'm balancing it also. Yes, I understand. Remember, I told you that everything that God created was good. Now, this hormone change is about maybe a young guy, sleeping, waking up, and some other thing.
Whoa. Our guest is here. All right, guys.
All right, we're going to recite the Father's House Creed at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
I am one of them. We are of the God's clan. We are part of His strategic master plan to actualize the abundant life protocol. We will not fail. We will not fall. We will not falter. We carry in us the DNA of the Almighty. We are the house of the Father Himself. In my Father's house, there are many good things. I am one of them. There are many of us yet to find their way home. The feeble, the wounded, and the lost. They will hear the Father's voice through me. They will find their way to the door of life and find rest. I am one of them, and I join the Father to say, welcome home.
Do you want to sit there?
Oh,
okay.
let's actually sit here.
Okay, you have to sit it. All right, fantastic. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I am the POF, the
Okay.
voice of the Father. My name is Wilfred.
Yes, it sounds like the voice of the Father already. Wilfred.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice meeting you, Wilfred. So, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I probably want to try to know your names or get you to know your names quickly. Then we'll move to other things. So you can introduce the house if you can, or just point at them, they introduce themselves quickly. Tell me your name and tell me, let me see what I want to find out. Tell me something, just in one word, describe yourself. So your name and in one word, describe yourself. So.
All right. I'm going to pick randomly. I like that. I like putting you guys on the spot. Okay. Ayomide?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
My name is Ayomide. I'm custodian number 20. And I'm a sanguine by temperament.
Okay. So, in one word, sanguine.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget, one word about yourself.
One word that describes you.
Yourself.
Yes.
Gospel.
Okay, my name is John Gospel. I'm custodian 012. I am melancholic.
It might not.
Guys, we're not asking for your temperament.
Temperaments.
Tell us one thing
Okay,
about yourself.
let me give you a new twist to it. We'll start again. I'll give you a new twist. The twist to be, I need a name tag. So if your name starts with L, give me something that describes you with L. So give me something that's a good attribute that describes you with the first letter of your first name. Can you do that?
Yes.
All right, so I don't want melancholy, sanguine, because you put people in choleric mode. All right, so, yeah.
Let's go again. No. I'll pick random. Gil.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Gil Samuel Sani Kosedian 022, and I'm a genius.
Genius. Good afternoon.
My name is Ifunanya Ajike.
Okay.
I am industrious.
Industrious.
Abigail.
My name is Abigail Lamori. I'm custodian number 14, and I'm a great cook.
Abigail. A? You didn't put anything in A.
A great cook.
A great cook. No, we don't agree. Do we agree? One sentence, exactly.
word.
So just one word. If you need a friend to help you, can always point out a friend to help.
She's affectionate.
Affectionate. Okay, see, friends are good. So let's appreciate that.
Rose. My name is Rose. I'm custodian 018. I'm ravishing.
David.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. My name is David, custodian 024. David, I'm a dancer.
Fantastic. Okay.
Valentine.
Good afternoon. I'm Valentine.
Okay.
Custodian 019019, and I am Valiant.
Valiant. Fantastic.
Blessings.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
My name is Blessings, custodian 015.
Okay.
I'm beautiful.
Beautiful, definitely. You didn't have to emphasize that. It's obvious. Thank you for the emphasis.
I like this tension.
The attention on you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, let's go.
All right, blessing.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
My name is Blessing Okomadu, custodian 021, and I am brilliant.
Brilliant.
Ayomide.
Okay, my name is Ayomide, custodian 20, and I'm ambitious.
Ambitious.
Eunice.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Eunice Sambo, custodian 010, and I am unique.
Unique.
You are energetic. I'm energetic.
Energetic. So you insisted you must be energetic. You can't be unique.
Mr. Chairman.
Steve-O!
Yeah, I'm Stephen Ide, custodian 1013. I am supernatural.
Angels, come on, please. That's my boy. I been carrying me the go.
Okay.
Head of the kitchen.
My name is Greatness. I'm the giver.
Kishi.
Yes.
Father Koitoluwa Kishi, we're all unintentional.
Thank you. So which letter did you use? Which name did you use?
Itoluwa Kishi. I. So Kishi is a shortened part.
Oh, okay. So that's where the confusion was. Okay, fantastic.
He said the first letter of your name.
Yes, intentional. Thank you.
John Gospel.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, John.
My name is Gospel John.
Gospel John.
I'm custodian 012 and I'm godly.
I forgot my Bible. I would have opened the Gospel of God. Yeah. Nice one.
So have we called everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Why everybody?
No, not everybody.
Where you?
Voice of Father.
Voice of the Father.
Vigo.
No, I'm Wilfred Solomon, custodian 011. I'm wise.
Wow. You took that after your father. You took that after your father. Can we just appreciate ourselves one more time? Come on. So I'm here for you. I think that's one of the things I heard, that there was something I heard before I came, and you have prepared you into two groups. There's a group green
and white.
A green party and white party. So I'm here to hear what you have come up with in a very short time.
Yes.
Let's see how we can push and make it a very, very, I hope it can be energetic, I hope it can be interesting, and I hope that you put a lot of life into it.
All right. Okay, guys, we have the next 2 minutes to tidy up ourselves. Quickly.
Okay, let's go. Why they would me? I don't forget.
Are you in a group? No. Are you in a group? No, let me prepare now.
If I'm ready to go, let's go to the kitchen now. Huh? To do what? No, we're not staying in the kitchen, they're going home.
What's that? When now? Open it down.
Steve, hold on.
Okay.
Somebody needs a book.
No, it must not talk about
Who not talk with you? We talk while you talk. No, what the other
so that they will not hear.
We will not shout. Let's just say it. I will not say it. No, we are
We are on stage. Yeah. Standing just. Yeah.
The good thing is,
Yeah, it's good.
you have from everyone. I'm not.
Meu Deus, um cone.
Let's go first. Let's go first. Let's go first. Let's go first.
All right, guys, your 2 minutes is over.
Where's my house? No, don't put me.
No. Let's see who's going first. Let's see who's going first. Anyone? Is it
So, all right, who goes first?
Greek party.
Let's know now. Green party. What? Green party.
Okay, come on.
All right, Green Party. Quickly arrange yourself. Let's clear.
Never know the way.
I didn't open White.
Everybody, attention.
Come this way.
Please leave your your school.
White sound.
Thank you. So you know
Yes. Mommy, welcome.
Thank you.
Mommy, what did you get from me today?
Moppo.
Wow! Moppos! I love my moppos. Moppos. Yummy, yummy, yum. I love my moppos. Moppos. Yummy, yummy, yum. It's tasty, nutritious. Yummy, yummy, yum. It's sumptuous and crunchy. Yummy, yummy, yum. I love my moppos. Moppos. Ooh la la.
Mama Pops, the tasty popcorn for everyone.
I love my moppos. Moppos. I love my moppos.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Daddy, 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 daddy. John, why are you sad?
Wow! Moppos, 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 moppos. Let's go! Moppos, so crunchy, so tasty, nutrition, so yummy. Moppos, so crunchy, so tasty, nutrition, so yummy. And some shells.
Moppos?
Guys, let's go together.
That's what it is.
You guys did so well.
All right. Well, I love the catch anyway, by the way. So where's team, where's party, white party? You're sitting, you are
mixed up.
Yeah, you're mixed up now.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. The white party was the last?
Yes.
Green party was the first? Okay, so let's give ourselves a round of applause. So first question I want to ask is to the green party. How did you come up with that? Tell me the process.
Okay, I think it was a spontaneous stuff.
we've already sensitized ourselves that when you're trying to be creative, take note of the first 2 ideas that pops up. They just might be the right idea.
Okay.
But when you start to overthink, you might just miss it. So she was rushing upstairs to get her stuff, and then the idea came. So she quickly ran back downstairs and she told us. And some people were hesitating, are you sure? I said, hold it, that is it. You know, so we all had to come together and build on it. And that was how we arrived there.
Okay, so I love the fact that also that you had, you looked at your individual strengths. Who was doing the bars? Were you?
Yes.
Okay, so you sing, you naturally sing. You sing bars.
Yes,
that's your part. Yes. So I love the fact that you looked at your individual strengths. Of course, she looks like the child. So who was the mommy? Okay. Not too much difference, but yeah. So, but I love the fact that she played the child part very well. You were exciting. Your hair even looks like a child that needs expression, you know, and that was really active. And you jumped. I love the jumping part, you know, where you came in jumping and all that. Then the dance rehearsal. How long did it take you to do that?
Some minutes.
Minutes? Are you all dancers? For the Green Party, are you all dancers?
No.
Okay. And you rehearsed that in?
Yes, we did.
How long? How long did it take you? 30 minutes or less?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
Yesterday?
That's today.
Wow. Wow. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Now for the song, let me, so who is the composer of the song? I know you all contributed, but who wants to take composer title? Nobody?
Okay, she brought
a tune.
Yeah, she brought a tune and the lines.
Put lyrics to it.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay. So what made you? Can you sing it one more time? Let me hear. Just a short. Yeah.
Go.
I love my mom pops, yummy, yummy, yum. I love my mom pops, yummy, yummy, yum. It's tasty, nutritious, yummy, yummy, yum. It's sumptuous and crunchy, yummy, yummy, yum. I love my mom pops, ooh la la.
More pops. The tasty popcorn for everyone.
One more time. Let's. All right. So still analyzing. I love the tune. Do you have a composer on your team?
Yes, we do.
Who is composer on your team?
I compose.
He composes too. I love the flow. More pops, you know. So I'll do a general talk about the flow. So I'll just go back to the White Party and hear your thought process. I need to understand how you got to where you got to. What inspired you? One more time, let's appreciate the Green Party. Okay, so let's go. White Party. Who is the team lead for White Party?
Ayomide.
Okay, for this project?
Yes.
Okay, Ayomide, let's hear you.
He wants to do the talking.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So what's the name?
Giza.
Gifted.
Gil.
Yeah, you said get gifted?
Gil. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I'm genius.
Genius. Fantastic. Okay, let's hear you in Unity.
Okay, let's start from the first scene. The first scene, you see a happy child walking past his friend who is sad.
Yes.
Right? And then he knows that his friend actually loves more pops, and then he had it in his bag. So tending to like share the love, he took out the more pops and then made his friend smile and cheer up.
Yeah.
So after that, they actually had this intention about eating it together. So they did the dance together. So that dance now actually portrays them having the bond of eating it together. And then the other backgrounds were actually students and some workers and then some parents. You get, so they were like in the environment of where that actually happened. So they actually joined in the jollification of the both children.
Okay.
And the both children. And then when we come to the song part, it's not actually a song, but then it's actually a song, yeah, but it's a rap song that actually hits the mop up, hits it, so that the viewers and anybody that is around will hear the mop ups,
Fantastic. Let's clap. All right. So you're also going to tell me something. I need to know. How long it took you to create that dance step. I love the fact that the dance.
Okay.
Tell me.
Well, it took us a very few minutes because he is a dancer.
Okay.
So immediately we had this idea of, okay, we want to run an advertisement. So I just, like, obviously the whole thing went to him, okay, he gave us a step that was quite difficult at first. But then, we had to like find our way through it, and this is where so he's a dancer, he took us the dance and got it.
I'll talk about the dance. I love the contemporary dance. You added some, some twists and turns which are contemporary. Yes. I was wondering, okay, who's not going to dance well? But eventually, I think everybody got the dance step, which was good. And the difficult one, I saw you did some difficult dance steps, just you, and I said, okay, he should be the guy doing all the difficult things. Don't put everybody through that. I think it was really brilliant. I'd like us to appreciate that too. By the way, this place smells really nice. I hear that something is cooking.
Yeah, cooking before you came.
Okay, well, so it's already the cook. I'm so sorry about that. So you not just dance well and jump, you also cook very well. Okay, so hopefully, if I'm opportunity permitted, if you had an extra portion, I'll be happy to take. All right. So for the song, can you sing that song one more time, if you can, please?
Okay. For the white party, right?
Yes, for the white party.
Let's go.
More pops, so crunchy, so tasty, nutritious, so yummy. More pops, so crunchy, so tasty, nutritious, so yummy. And
Let me tell you what I love about that song and the whole dramatics involved. Now, I love the fact that it's not just a song, you added some beats and a chest beat. I love that. It's really nice. It's creative. It gives it a little more effect. I was wondering who is beating who. Please take it easy. Please take it easy. It shows you guys are all good with CPRs, if you know what I'm saying. But so you did the chest thing very well. You're beating, and the heartbeats was good. You're in step, you're in tune, you were moving the body and dance and all that, which I really appreciate. One more time, can we give ourselves a round of applause? Now, I'm not absolutely going to pick the best now. I can't do that. Wow. I'm going to give an opportunity for viewers to try to say, okay, which team did the best, this and this, and maybe hopefully we'll try to see what we can do. I don't want to make that decision. I want to get people's feedback. Right. I think that would be nice for viewers to also see who, what they love. I don't know. It's difficult. I cannot choose. I cannot choose. Yeah. They're so fantastic. Yeah. I want to say this, and I really appreciate all of you. Your creativity is top notch. It's top notch. I'm a brand strategist. I also have a lot to do with marketing of brands. Coming up with that in a short time are things that a lot of multinationals struggle with. And that brings me to the fact that starting a business or promoting a business are two different things entirely. We talked about the promotional aspect, which is what we are looking at. Is a lot of work to promote your business. I'm going to tell you how it started. I'm going to tell you the journey. I'm going to share with you all these things. But the truth about it is that it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort to bring it to where it is and to take it from where it is to where it's meant to be. There's a lot of work involved. So I want to give the honors to people who are watching. I have quite a number of people I've also engaged to watch, and all my friends that I think should be watching. At work, it's live, so they should watch. I want them to tell me the feedback and say, oh, it's white party, green party, But it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult selection because it's not going to be too easy. I won't tell you what I probably have in mind, but I'm happy about the feedback. I'm happy about the energy you've put into this. But definitely, whoever wins, we have something. Definitely, we want you to react and redo that act, probably live, and let's take it out there. And that's what I'm hoping to. But I don't want to do that selection here. It's unfair. Because I will say that ads are not about the producers. It's not about the actors. It's about the viewers. Yes. And if viewers vibe with it, you don't need to sell it to them.
Yes.
You don't need to sell it to them. Once they pick it, oh, this is trendy, this is what we want, that's it. So it's the reaction we get that should actually help our decision, not my decision to make, because, you know, I love both of them, so I'll probably just say it. And that's what people do sometimes is, oh, we love both of them, can we merge both of them? You kill it. You kill the creativity, you know, and the energy, you know, or should we add beats of the chest in this? And, you know, by the time you do that, you probably want to kill some things. But I love both of them. One more time, please give yourselves I was warned about your energy. I was warned about your creativity. I was warned about how ingenious you guys are and how proactive you are. I think that you're actually very ingenious, proactive, and creative. I think that beyond my imagination, I've seen people from different places around the country coming together to do something really creative. And I think that your backgrounds have helped. You know, your exposures have helped. Not everybody here is a dancer, not everybody is a singer, but you have brought everything together, you know. And I'm saying that it's good. I love what is going on here. I hope it stays this way till day 40. Don't let the energy drop. The energy is not going to drop, hopefully. And I think that it is good for us, not just as Christians, but it is what we need as youth outside there, beyond what we see on a regular basis. This is good stuff. This is what we must promote. This is what we must push out there for the world to see. And that is what I'm seeing right here. You have everything it takes to get the world by surprise. And let's take it beyond that. So not just day 12, but let's push it beyond day 12, even to day 40. With this kind of energy, absolutely. The world is going to be watching you. All right, so let me tell you a short story. You want to hear that? Yes. Don't forget the food you are cooking for us. Okay, you're done? Yeah. Fantastic. All right, so this is it. A short story would be, this product, Mop-Ups, started, I have a brother. His name is Olufemi Olumide. My name is, did I introduce myself? No, sir. Okay, do I need to? Yes, sir. Okay, my name is Toni Olumide. That's Tony Olumide. Toni Olumide. All right. Who is from Jos here? Anybody from Jos? You stayed in Jos. Okay. Who has passed through Jos? I'm from Bauchi. You're from Bauchi. Have you passed through Jos before? Okay. You waved at somebody in Jos? All right. So you stayed there a bit. Okay. All right. So I was born in Jos, but I'm of course from Ekiti State. But I was born in Jos. I have one leg in Jos. Not like one. I don't speak Hausa. I wish I did, you know. So, but I was born in. I have a Hausa name. I have an Igbo name. I have a Yoruba name. Wow. Yes, because I was born in Jos. I got a Hausa name there. Then also I was born into an Igbo family. I was, you know, right there. My family is the Igbo. They gave me an Igbo name. I have a Yoruba name. So every time I go to the East, I present my Igbo name. And people say, oh, you look northern, you look, you know, if I change this cap, wear northern cap, you'll be like, they'll start speaking Hausa to me, even, you know. So I've been able to adjust in very, very, very creative ways to society. And I love the fact that we're all from different states. How many people are from the north? Bauchi, where are you from? Kaduna, fantastic. Kaduna people used to oppress Jos people. Eh? All right, yes. Benue State. That's like, okay, fantastic. All right, so anybody from the west? Or south? Let's say south. Let's just say south. Southwest, I know that. Okay, south, nice, funny. Ooh, okay. So we'll take your time out. Well, can you listen? You can hear me, right? Yes. Okay, so this is it. I hope we're still live. I hope we are. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So this is it. This is it. I mean, these are one of the things we want to fix, and that's why you're here. You're all being prepared to become leaders. And you don't become a leader, you grow into it. You know, it's not a stage. You don't say, I'm a leader. I'm now a leader. This is it. This is how it starts. You grow into leadership positions, different leadership positions, and opportunities take you to make decisions that would affect people positively. Okay, so these Mop-Ups, let me just say, it started, my brother and I were, you know, I have a very funny story. We have a funny story. I have also a very funny story. Right before I became a graduate, I was lecturing in a university, which is funny. Yeah. So one of those times when I was going for that session, there's a place where we always smelled good popcorn, very nice popcorn. We always would stop there to buy popcorn on our way for that lecturing session and all that. And we just had this idea that why don't we start something like this? It was out of town. Why don't we start something like this in Oyo State where we were at that point? But it wasn't this we're looking at. It was just cup. It was just. We used to buy it in nylon, but it was from afar, like 2 junctions away. You are smelling the thing. Be like, where's that thing? Where are these people doing? We must find. We got the place, and we always kept buying it there. So, when I went to university, I thought about, okay, let's do this, invested it, we put money, resources together. I didn't really do that. I just did like 2-3 activations or experiences for people to feel. And the feedback, I just wanted feedback. The feedback was fantastic. After then, took it outside in Oyo State, somewhere in Ibadan. We got a restaurant, and they said, okay, you guys can come, take a spot there and do your thing. And we did our thing, and everybody was always rushing it. Then the big picture came. What can we do? How can we start this, make this thing even bigger? What can we do? How can we make it, put it in the hands of people in their homes? Let's take mop-ups into the houses. Because if you buy it, maybe you're going very far. Before you know it, it's not preserved. You don't keep it till the next day. It's just difficult because it's already popped and you can't preserve it in something like this. By the way, this has a shelf life of about 5-6 months. Wow. Yes. So, but the expiration date, we put 3 months. But we've tested 6 months and it stayed and was still fine. But we just put 3 months, just so that we don't scare people. They'll be like, 6 months, but we've tested 6 months, it worked. 5 months worked, 6 months was fine. Now, back to the story. Started this, but we didn't actually, it's difficult, it was really expensive so many years back to start producing on this scale. It was really expensive. We needed to, if nobody's going to produce you 5 of this, they want to produce it in thousands. Yeah, so we needed millions of naira to push this. And the story behind this is we started looking beyond our means. Sometimes if you have a vision like this, you cannot, I'm a brand. I started at some point I was a graphic designer, more like mid 2000. I was doing graphics. I learned on my own. There was no YouTube then to teach. There was YouTube, but it wasn't as popular now where you can learn stuff on your own. It was just overnight, sleeping on the laptop, just trying different things. Eventually, I was able to know how to design. And friends, I would send something to a friend, I'll be like, beautiful, it might not be beautiful, but I had very encouraging friends. They just say, oh, fantastic. And that was encouragement to me. I'm like, I know some people that I won't send it to, of course. But I sent some things to some people, and they're like, fantastic. I'm like, oh, somebody appreciates it. Before long, 500 naira, somebody says, oh, 500 naira. Then I was like, 500 naira, give me 5 to design? Oh, I'll kill myself on this thing. Then before we knew, at some point, I'll say, I'm not taking anything less than 1.5. That was like, I'm saying like 2006. I'm not taking anything more than 1.5. You can't pay me 1.5, I'm not doing your job. 2007, 2008, maybe 3,000, 5,000. At some point, then I started having other graphics. But cut the long story short, it got to a point where if you don't pay me in millions now, I don't touch it. Because I don't even do it myself. But some people still say, I want you to just look at it, and that professionalism, has grown. I've become a brand strategist right now. But my graphic design knowledge helped me with this. And I designed this then, and I thought, okay, it was good. It was nice. I heard a lot of this. One of the things I encourage about this is, okay, my study was biochemistry. Very funny, right? I chose biochemistry, not like I went for medicine and they dropped me. But I actually chose biochemistry. I did A-levels and I chose biochemistry. And when I graduated from biochemistry, it looked useless until this came. When this came, NAFDAC said we need somebody who's in the medical line as part of the directors or somebody who is like the chief CEO or COO or at that top level to be able to give an endorsement to this, or to be able to stand in as, you know. And I was the only person, of course, yeah. So that came in handy. So I went to the lab, I did everything, I understand everything behind it. This is biochemistry, pure biochemistry, or lab, you know, and all that. And I had a lot of fun, you know, doing this at the back, the nutritional facts, or nutrition facts. So fast forward so many years after, we produced this. It was difficult to produce this. It was challenging to produce, but once this came out, we got a lot of vibes from it. And we're not as blown as we should be, but we've sold it in different countries around the world, which is good. You know, it's been accepted. You know, it's not like it's not been accepted, it's been accepted. You know, so the first thing in business, then I'll go back. If you have questions, you can ask, raise up your hand, interrupt me. I'm okay with that. I'm not a very corporate, I don't need to know. I'm also useful like you. So the first things first is, for us, was we needed to raise funds. You didn't even ask me where I got money from. Or where. Do you want to know?
Of course.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
Do you want to know? Okay, so the first thing I will say is that it's not luck when you get money to fund your business. It's not luck. There's a lot of work you need to put in place. You need to have a business plan. You need to have a marketing plan. You need to, there's a lot of work you need to put in place. My brother and I run businesses, and we still consult, and we still train. We train banks, we've trained all sorts of industries over the years. And even Fortune 500, ExxonMobil, Microsoft, we've done all those kind of trainings. You know, so we brought all that business acumen into this to ensure that we tidy up the business plan, we tidy up this, and we applied for grants. And guess what we got there? The thing is that we help people to get grants. It was easy for us to get a grant. In fact, we had done that 2 years before then. And it was easy for us to get a grant because we are business people. We help people develop businesses. So to develop our business, we're not motivational speakers. This is what we do also by the side. But it's an evidence that we don't just speak, we do. And I think that's one of the success stories for us, because it's an evidence that you must always put action to whatever you do. And there's a process for anything to be established. There's always a process. It must take step 1, this, step 2, this, step 3. Don't jump the process. If you jump the process, some people got NAFDAC number without getting NAFDAC number, if you understand what I mean. You understand? But at the end of the day, they can't get to where we are. Why? Or they couldn't have sustained it over time, because once you start on a faulty foot, once you do things behind the door, it will be difficult for you to stay in that door. You might open it, but you can't stay in there for too long. It's going to get too hot for you. So that's the truth. So for Mopops was a success. One of the businesses we wanted to, it was a passion. It was something we loved to see happen, and we birthed it. So if one thing I'm going to do today is inspire you to birth, you must birth something. You must be carrying something. You cannot birth if you're not carrying. You cannot carry if there's no conception. There can't be conception until you have a vision. You meet something. You have an encounter with something that inspires you to create it. So wherever your inspiration comes from, create it. All right? So you must think that way to say, okay, how can I? So the journey wasn't just about, do you think we saw this and we created it? We didn't see anything. There was nothing. It was just popcorn. Okay, let's get a nylon. Oh, how do you think a nylon should look? What should we come up with? Bulu? What should we do? This, and look at what we produced it for international markets. We didn't produce it for Nigerian market. Why? Because we said if we shoot to the stars and we miss the stars, we'll stay somewhere in the sky or in the moon. So we looked at international markets and we said, international market, let's compete with people in Germany. Let's compete with people in the UK. In fact, it has a European EA number. We said, let's compete with people all over the world and let's see what they are doing. Whatever they are doing, we can also do here in Nigeria, in Oyo State, where the factory is at the moment. So that was the inspiration. And we said, if we can compete, we're not competing with Nigerian markets. Yes, we'll sell in the Nigerian market, but let's give them something they have not seen in a very long time. We have not even seen anything like that anywhere. The best we had seen was Guguru nuts popcorn at that time. You understand what I mean? So we also made a promise to people that if you open this pack and you eat it, and you see an unpopped kernel, we owe you an extra pack. meaning that you cannot see an unpopped kernel. Every kernel is popped, and we select every kernel. We select everyone that is not popped. So that's the promise of value. That's what we say to you. And you cannot open this pack this way. It's impossible. If you open it, I'll give you an extra pack. You cannot open it. Why are we so intentional about what we're doing? We're intentional because we want to create that kind of international standard. What's the best way to open? Well, try to open. You want to try? See the genius. Oh yeah, genius. Try. If you don't open it, I'll change your name. All right, let's try. So, oh yeah, no, you've seen it. Oh, okay. So try to open it.
It's can't actually.
Huh?
It can't.
It's tight, right? It can't.
Yeah, because of
the seal.
The level of the seal.
Yes.
The level of the seal is
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think we sealed it that way? Anybody wants to answer?
Because you're looking at the international market.
Okay.
You have to seal it in a way that would serve the purpose when you are compressing, sending it abroad so that it doesn't get.
Okay. So what's the name again? Greatness. Okay.
I'm getting to maintain the quality and preservation.
Okay.
Because if it's something that can easily open, there's a very tendency that air
can.
You need that quality
Okay. Standard. Fantastic. I saw your hand. What's the name again? What's the name? Abigail Rose.
To preserve the shelf life.
Fantastic. The shelf life. Okay. What's your name tag? Greatness. What's your real name? Giver. Okay. What's your name tag? Affectionate. Okay, Abigail Affectionate. What's yours? That thing swept me off my feet. I said ravish. How did you go there? You guys like grammar. Okay. All right. So fantastic. So anybody else wants to say something?
Okay, I've not really, but maybe I believe maybe you wanted them to have a particular place of opening. Unlike initially, people just open normal popcorn from nylon.
My brother. What is your background like?
I'm an Igbo man.
See, you see how he did this thing? When he did this thing, I could not. If you wanted me to guess, I'll say, is it that Enugu or Anambra? Anambra. So that's it. As in the way you did. See this hand like this. My brother, I'm part of you. All right. Yeah. So you were saying something that it was different. You wanted something. We wanted to produce something different, and not just the typical way people pick things from a nylon and all that. Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, sometimes you can use your product to also to inspire a culture in people. So, for example, I'll give you an idea. She saw the tear mark. You know, when I say open, if you look closely, you see a tear mark. There's a tear here, right? You see, we cannot. I will say something to you guys. Never be afraid to innovate. Never be afraid to fail.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's this part I skipped. I shouldn't skip it. When we opened the store, the outlet at that restaurant, we failed. It went on a decline because we moved to Lagos. We were not in Ibadan again. We moved and we left it. And we put somebody in charge. It failed. It did fail. We packed it up. And we said we're done. We're done. So it shows something that the life of every business is in the owner. It's the owner that gives life to the business. So the moment you separate yourself or you stay too far away from what you give life to, as if you say you want to give birth to a child and you don't want the child to benefit from the placenta transfer. How now? The mother is there giving the child life, giving the child food, nutrients, and you say no, let the child be in a cocoon, but it should eat from me. How? Bluetooth? How? So that was the business failed. And the reason the business failed was because we were not there to ensure that things were according to what we wanted. There was a standard of operation that were not put in place. So the business failed. The person people we got, they just started doing. One day we just went. In fact, it got to a point where we had handed over to somebody, manager, and the person had hired different people. One day I got to the stand, and the guy who was at the stand did not know me. No, it was okay, but he didn't know me because he was recruited by the manager. He didn't know me. So I was not offended with that because I wanted to see what they were doing exactly. So when I went to the stand and he gave me stuff, it was difficult. You understand? It was really difficult. You know, so I just looked at him and said, I said, is this what you serve people? He was very proud of himself. Yes, this is how we do it. Very professional with that. I was like, this is what you give people? This is how it tastes all the time? He said, yes. Don't you like it? I laughed. I said, give me another one. I wanted to be sure that it wasn't a fluke, like there was just one mistake. So that's when I knew that there was a problem, and eventually we had to shut it down because there were 7 people were still buying, but it wasn't the brand, it wasn't the feel, it wasn't the experience, it wasn't the excitement that we brought initially. Everything had dwindled down, but people were still buying. So, but the kind of people that were buying were different from the guys who were buying now. That's also been deceived because people are. So we had moved from this kind of people to this kind of people who we want to even price it and say, is it not just Guguru? We didn't have those kind of clients before. We had customers who will come and say, we want to buy popcorn. When you start having customers who say, Guguru.
Something that happened already.
Yes. So even at this stage, it was very difficult for anytime we give somebody this to say, okay, this is what we do. And the person's like, I'll give an experience, but just popcorn. That's inside here. Popcorn, you put popcorn inside here. You'll be like, why are you wasting your money to put popcorn inside this kind of pack? It's so expensive. Why are you doing this now? Just popcorn. Guguru. We said, no, it's not Guguru. This is Mopops. Exactly. Yeah. It's not. All right, so putting all together, looking at marketing, looking at all that, you cannot separate. I said you can't separate your business you can't isolate yourself from the business too early. It won't grow, just like a child. That child needs to bond. Take your character, take your traits before you win, and you say, okay, fine. Okay, so that's it. So any question, you want to ask me questions? Okay, I'll take as I see. 1, 2, 3, in order in which I saw. 4. Okay, let's go. Abigail.
Okay, from experience, I know that fresh popcorn is not the same as when you left it for a period of time.
Yes.
And I'm assuming, because I haven't tasted it, that the popcorn they has is very high quality.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to maintain the quality of a fresh popcorn and the one that has stayed there for a long? Because most popcorns I know, besides the fact that it could stay long, being preserved and all, most people can't get the actual feel of a freshly cooked popcorn in already packaged packs. So how long did it take? What was the process it took you to know that, okay, this is the quality you wanted? You wanted that same feel as something that was just fresh